So this is a tutorial for the Flexus Stik by Aspire. Thank you for buying it. You will love it. I'm just going to quickly run through the fundamentals really of how to use it and how to get the best out of it. So firstly, if you look at on the back of the box, it tells you there's two coils in the pack. So they give you two, a 0.6 and a 1 ohm. Don't worry yourself too much, but the 1 ohm is a much tighter pull, so that's probably more suited to high strength users if you're still stuck on those high strengths but you want that tight feeling like a cigarette. The 0.6 is a little bit more airy, gives a bit more flavour. It will use a bit more juice and can be a little bit leaky but not major. But overall actually most of our customers prefer the 0.6, as do I, and it does tend to last longer as well. So that's just your choice, whatever you prefer. So putting the coil in, take the tank off the device completely, put the battery down. So get your coil out ready, pop it into the bottom of the tank and it just fits snugly in there, push it all the way. It will stick out at the bottom, you'll see it's protruding, that's normal, but just push it as far as you can with your thumb. Then you're going to want to fill your tank. So fill in the tank, you want to look for the rubber seal. There's two empty chambers and then a rubber seal. Just literally pop that with your nail. Open it up. Then get your liquid bottle. Fill that in, put it into the hole. Fill it all the way to the top. Now, top tip for that is hold it up to some light and you can see what you're doing. So fill it completely way to the top and then you just want to close that rubber seal again, make it flush. Just be careful with that rubber seal because you know if you're too harsh with them they'll break, but you can get replacements, including XL tanks as well. So then if you've just filled it for the first time or changed your coil, you want to make sure that you leave that liquid to soak for a couple of minutes. Or what I do, I'll fill it up and I'll actually take it off the device so it's not connected to a battery, and I'll suck it through a few times, and that helps the liquid through the coil when it's new. So then you filled your device up and you're ready to go. So pop it back on, fill for a click, and you will notice that that tank spins left to right. That is actually a mechanism to control the airflow. So your airflow will help get that smoking sensation, if you like. So the tighter you've got it, the more it's going to feel like a cigarette. The looser, it's going to be bigger clouds. It's your preference, but if you're looking for that cigarette feeling, I would suggest having it quite closed. If you look quite closely at it, there's literally 5 little holes. And the way it works when you spin it around, it will just block off some of the holes. So do get used to that and it will change throughout the time when you're using it, but just have it more restrictive if you want it like a cigarette. Next thing you're going to need to do is switch the device on. So you're going to turn it upside down, put your thumb on it and just click it 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and it will flash a few times, okay? That's on and you can use it straight away at that point. But I'm going to run you through just a couple of features that it's got on there, and that is the power settings and this light that you'll see flashing at the bottom. So as you'll see, when I'm using it, it's got a light. So this light's used in 2 different ways. The first way is the battery indicator. So now it's fully charged because it's brand new, it's green. When it starts to go low, it's going to go red, and when it's dead, you'll see a red light. So that means that you need to charge it. So it's just an indicator while you're using it for how much battery you've got left, and that's brilliant. So just while we're on that one, before we get to the second way, when you are charging that device, you'll actually see those lights go backwards. So you'll plug it into charge, and when it's on charge, whatever stage of charge it's at will be that colour. So it will start at red if you've let it run empty, and it will be blue, then it will be green for a while, and then when it's coming to the end of the charge, you'll see it flash about 10 times and the light will go off, and that means the battery is fully charged. And at that point, I would take it off charge because you're just going to shrink the lithium if you're not careful, and then you'll wreck the battery. So the second way that we use these lights is the power settings. So this device has got a high, medium and low power setting. So if you wanted to use it, say if you're running out of battery and you want to turn it down, you can do that. Or if it's not strong enough, you can turn it up. It's dead simple. So 1, 2, 3. I've got a green there. 1, 2, 3. Red. 1, 2, 3. Blue. The red represents low powered. The blue is medium power and the green is high power. So red stop, green go, that's how I remember it. So top tips for looking after your device: really don't overcharge it. An hour is generally enough, you'll see. So yeah, let it run empty. It doesn't really matter when you charge it, but don't overcharge it, don't leave overnight. It's very safe to leave overnight, but it will just shrink the battery and you'll be buying a new one in 3 months if you regularly do that. Also cleaning the device. So you will get an excess of liquid at the bottom as you use it. That's normal. It's just excess liquid that hasn't made it out of the tank. So if you just take some tissue, you can just wipe that occasionally, every day, every other day. When when you're filling it up, it's good practice. If you see a little bit of liquid, just literally get some tissue in there. That's what I do. Bunch that up. Just keep it nice and dry. The more you keep that clean, it's going to look after it. So, other top tips for this device: coil life. I would say when it's going to need to be changed, because you'll either get a burnt taste or it's not performing so well. Modern coils now don't tend to always burn unless you let them run dry, so keep the tank filled. But if you're using it regularly, like you're using 3 bottles a week, like a 20-a-day smoker, and you haven't changed your coil in 2 weeks, I probably would change it. You're going to get much more satisfaction out of your liquids because that cotton will just be broken down at that point. So it should last really anywhere around 1 to 2 weeks, depending on usage. Anything longer than that, I really would suggest changing the coil. You're just going to get more value out of your liquids and your quit attempt as well, because ultimately the nicotine will be doing its job much better with a fresh coil. But yeah, I hope you enjoy it, and any more advice you need, just come in and see us in the shop.